Ladies and gentlemen, the RRT Boxing Show with Mr. A, featuring Mr. A's thoughts, second edition, will begin shortly. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. My thoughts right here on the RRT Boxing Show. Ready, talk that boxing. I am the host, Mr. A, and this is the second edition of Mr. A's thoughts, so where I just take something from my head and we're going to speak about it. You know, sometimes it is a boxing news, sometimes it's a far out thinking of my ideals, and sometimes it's just me maybe seeing something that might happen down the road in boxing. And in this case, we are talking Alexander Usyk, considering he's fresh off his victory with Briedis in the WBSS. And before the fight, he's mentioned how he will move up to fight Anthony Joshua. Well, that's where he was going to prove his heavyweight. That's where he would prove his career legacy. He knows it. His legacy will be defined at heavyweight. But with him openly saying that, openly letting us know that, hey, I am going to be a heavyweight one day. I am going to beat Anthony Joshua one day, made me start to think right now, if Alexander Usyk was to move up in heavyweights, who beats him? Who beats him? We'll make it a little easier for a conversation. We'll take away the champs. No Parker, no Wilder, no Joshua. Who beats Alexander Usyk right now? We just say top 5 from each rankings, each organized body. WBC, you got Dylan White, Dominic Brazil, Luis Ortiz, Kubrat Pulev, Tony Bellew. That's the WBC. Number 4, Kubrat Pulev, Dominic Brazil. And number 2, I think it's pretty safe to say Usyk foot movement and volume punching will be too much for those guys. But hey, that's just my opinion. Maybe Dominic Brazil punch resistance might do something. Maybe he can land a bomb. Dylan White, a haymaker. He could throw something. Luis Ortiz, he got pretty good feet movement. He can set some traps up. He might be able to do something. Tony Bellew, I don't think could do much noise for Usyk. You know, do you want to go further? There's number 6, Dubois, 7, Martin. Number 8, the European champ, Ajit Kabaya. Number 9, Oscar Rivas. Number 10, Carlos Takam. We move on to the WBA. Well, I said take away champions, so we can't add Manuel Char. No champions. But you got number 1, Alexander Povetkin. Now there, we could talk about that. That would be you know how big of a fight that will be? Alexander Usyk versus Alexander Povetkin. Oh my goodness. You know, say what you say about Povetkin. Take away I don't want to say bias, but take away your feelings towards Povetkin and just look at this as a boxing event. Wow. In Russia or Germany or anywhere where I don't know what type of language they speak. And, well, duh. Mr. A, you're an arsehole. In Russia, they speak Russian. But do Ukraine and Germany and Russia, is all that language somewhat woven together, or is it completely different dialects and language? So someone please let me know in the comments section, how much of an arsehole I am. But that fight would be huge, I believe. And then you got number 2, Fres Quindo. Yeah. Now, this is a fight I want to see. Soon as I start making this, I went to because I was in the gym today, and this popped in my head. This Mr. A's thoughts. Gerald Baby Miller and Alexander Usyk. Oh my goodness, I want to see that fight because both those guys fight in the same exact manner. They pressure you and pressure you with a workload of volume punches. That's pity pats mixed in between 6s and 8 power level punches. Now the only thing that the difference is, Gerald Miller is going to pressure you with heavy body weight, while Uysk is in and out, pressuring you with just movement, making you work too fast, making your feet move faster than they want, making your hands throw more punches than they want, making you think faster than you want to think. He's pressuring you with movement, mobility, and Miller is just pressuring you with weight. You have to punch so hard to keep his heavy force off him. Will Uysk peppery shots be enough to withhold and keep that heavy force of Miller at bay? That's one of the first fights I want to see Uysk take at heavyweight. I would love to see that fight. Then number 4, again, you got Pulev. So number 4 on the WBC and the WBA is Pulev. Number 5 is Trevor Bryan. I'm going to have to look what that guy is. Number 6, Christian Hammer. I don't want to see him no more. 7, Dylan White. Number 8, Alexander Yusnov. And number 9, BJ Flores. These guys. Number 10, Guillermo Jones is still around. Otto Wallen, he just won. Number 12, this would be a nice fight. The WBA number 12. And he has a fight coming up himself. Brian Jennings. A rough, undersized heavyweight, come forward. I think Uysk could be too much for him, his size, his speed. But Jennings has that same type of fight, I think. He'll throw the punches. That'd be a real interesting. That'd be a head-to-head fight. I think Jennings. We know Jennings is going to bring a fight, and Uysk will embarrass Jennings if Jennings does not sit on his gum shield and be first. If Jennings is sitting back there trying to wait for the bomb, wait for that right shot to land on Uysk would put a very long night peppery whooping on him. And then, like I said, then we go to the IBF. No Anthony Joshua. Number 1 is empty. Number 2, Cool Brad Pulev. So it looks like he is going to get that mandatory shot. Like I said, who's going to get that number 1 filling spot? Number 3, Gerald Miller. Number 4 is Dylan White. Number 5, Povetkin. Number 6, Brazil. 7, Takum. Number 8, the old man, Alexander Demetrenko. Number 9, Martin. Number 10, Agate Caballal. Number 11, Christian Hammer. Number 12, Otto Wallen. Number 13, Duopois. Wow. I just now realized and looked at this IBF. Joshua has nothing in the IBF. WBA got some names. Miller, Povetkin, Pulev, White. Ooh, there's nothing down there. And then you got the WBO. If Uysk wants to go the WBO route, which you figure as of right now he has the WBO and the WBC. So those are going to be the 2 routes most likely he goes. Sorry folks, had to stretch that leg out there, you know. Also felt a nice gym cramp coming on. So considering if he loses in the tournament, he loses all his belts. If he wins the tournament, he gets to have any route he wants, but we'll just go with the 2 belts he has right now. The WBC we went over, and the WBO. Number 1, Povetkin. So Povetkin is choosing to cash because Povetkin, I believe, has a WBO and a WBA. I think he wants to have the WBA International and the WBO Continental. So he has 2 cash-ins. So if he loses one, like I say, I think if he loses one belt, the WBA belt, he's going to cash in his WBO belt for another shot, I think. Number 1 is Povetkin. Number 2 is Dominic Brazil. Number 3, Gerald Miller. Number 4, Dylan White. So we're repeating this top names quite often. So who can Uysk? That's it. Brazil, Povetkin, Miller, and White. I want to see Miller. I think that's a very good fight. Dylan White, now he possesses the grit, because I feel in order for you to beat Alexander Usyk, you got to be mentally and prepared and already made up. I'm going to get my shots off. You can't sit back and wait for a counter, wait for the perfect combination to be open up for you. You got to go in there and be like, I'm going to get hit, but I'm going to deliver stronger hits. And right now, the only heavyweights I see out there who with that mind state that I'm going to get mine are Jarrell Miller and Dylan White. These other fighters, I see them kind of waiting for the opportunity. Like Kubrat Pulev, I don't see him going forward in fights, creating opportunities. Povetkin, nah, maybe. Brazil is a toss-up. You know he's a warrior. He's going to come to fight. But is he going to be... That reach might help him. That long reach, that height, that might help him. Just the big body he brings. You know, he might, because he absorbed a lot of Joshua's hits, and Usyk does not hit like Joshua. Maybe he does, but he doesn't give himself the opportunity to show it because he doesn't sit down on his punches enough to show us, to let us, the audience, know how hard of a puncher he really is. So, like I said, he's more of an in and out peppery type puncher. So Brazil might be able to absorb a lot of those shots and deliver some harder scoring shots. And judges always like the more power punches over the point shots. And Usyk lands a lot of point shots. Just how he defeated Brias. Brias probably had the harder shots, but just too far in between. Usyk's had so many points. And then number 5 is the big Japanese, Fujimoto. That'd be interesting. That'd be interesting. But Tom Schwartz, number 6, number 7, Zhang, I don't know who that guy is. Number 8, Ajit Kabihal. Number 9, Brian Jennings. Number 10, Christian Hammer. 11, Jean-Pierre Augustine. Number 12, Hughie Fury. Number 13, Amir Mansour. Amir Mansour, I just like him. I like that he comes to fight. It sucks that, you know, him being locked up took a lot of years off him in boxing. It kept his body somewhat young, but still his age. It'll be interesting to see him just get an opportunity at a big moment. So him and Usyk. Number 14, Lucas Brown. Well, Lucas Brown have the... I don't know. It all depends how Lucas Brown looks against Dylan White. Because as of right now, I think Lucas Brown still has enough tank in him and enough mobility on his feet to defeat Dylan White. We will find out. But going over those quick little names in all the rankings, I like I said, Dylan White, Jarrell Miller, and maybe Dominic Brazil, because those are the 3 fighters who come to fight, and that's the only way you can beat Alexander Usyk. Don't wait for the opportunities. Go out there, create the opportunities against him. And maybe Brian Jennings, because he's somewhat aggressive. But out of all these, 60 names, even though I guess, yes, they do repeat, but 60 spots, there's not too many that I believe could beat Alexander Usyk right now in the heavyweight division. That is Mr. A's thoughts. I give Alexander Usyk probably the top 5 in heavyweights right now. Leave a comment down below. If you are a kind person, please help my show grow. Give a thumbs up if you are a new viewer. Hope you become a new subscriber. Help my show grow. This is Ready Talk Boxing. I am Mr. A, Anaheim, California, signing out.